Hello and welcome to the video. As you probably know, I'm a big fan of Zone Wars. I've painted all the miniatures and I think they look fantastic. I love the sculpts for them. I think they look great when you get them all painted up, but I do have a problem. And that is, these cool encounter cards, like this Ravenous Devourer, the graphics look cool. It looks like there's a bear or big mutant Wolverine thing that's ready to attack. But all they give you is this cardboard chip to use. And I think that we can do a little bit better. And I think that this can apply to a number of board games. So I want to show you what I picked up. I chose these D&D Death Dogs. I thought that the models were really cool. They're like a two-headed demon dog. I think that they looked really neat and they're going to be easy to paint up. And here are the miniatures themselves. As you can see, the package already says that they're primed, so you don't really need to do anything. You can start painting them right away. But I think that the sculpt looks awesome, and they can be used in a number of other games, not just Zone Wars. So yeah, I thought it would be really fun to actually paint up some miniatures instead of using that cardboard chip. And I want to show you just how easy it can be. Now I started off, I just put a coat of black paint all over the miniature. I made sure to cover underneath it, over top, all of it. And then I'm just going to come in with some dark brown and do a quick dry brush on top. I want that black to stay underneath, so this is just more or less going on top where the light's going to hit the skin. And I'm going to keep these guys really simple. I mean, they're just here to enhance my board game. I want them to look cool, but at the same time, I'm not going to put a ton of effort into them. Now the goal of this video, and a lot of my videos, is to not show you exactly what you need to do or how to do something. It's mostly to inspire you to try something out on your own. For instance, please let me know in the comments if you have a board game that maybe you've been thinking of doing something like this for, or maybe you've already done it. I'd love to know. I'm always looking for different ideas or board games to pick up to do stuff like this. Oh, and I wanted to point out this old brush that I'm using is actually one of my daughter's old brushes when she was little. It's actually based off of a unicorn horn. But I tell you what, it makes a decent dry brush, so hey, I'm not that picky. And it shows that, you can make do with whatever you have. Now to add a little bit of interest, I'm just going to use a little bit of dark red to do a dry brush, mostly over the longer fur on the back here. I just want to put a little bit of color into it. I know that for the majority of the model, I wanted a dark brown, black looking dog, but I thought a little bit of red coloration in there would just make it a little more interesting. And now I'm just going to use a little bit brighter red and do a coat over top of that. And you don't want to cover up all of the dark red underneath, you just want this to sort of highlight it a little bit. And then we're going to move on and just put a little tiny bit of yellow on top of this as a final highlight, just to make it stand out a little bit more. Now doing a few different colors and doing this dry brush, it doesn't take a lot of effort, but it's going to add a lot of detail to the finished miniature. I'm just using a little bit of the red that I already have out to paint the mouth area, the gums, the lips, the inside. And then I'm just going to come back and try to pick out the teeth the best that I can. I'm using an off-white. I didn't want them to be like a bright, clean white. These are demon wolves after all. And I thought that the off-white would look a little bit better. And they're so small, I'm just doing the best that I can just so that it gives an impression that, yes, it's showing its teeth. And I can say that these guys are super easy to paint. But with just a little bbit of dry brushing, and a little bit of detail that you could put into them, I mean, these miniatures look fantastic. I'm actually really happy with them. I didn't really expect them to come out this good with this little effort. Okay, so these guys came with clear bases, and I want them to be very versatile. I can use them in other games if I want to. So what I'm using here are my clippers, and I'm just kind of snipping the base as close as I can to their paws. And you gotta be really careful doing this. It's so easy to just snip off a foot. So I went ahead and kind of like snipped around here and broke it apart the best that I could. And then after I got the bigger chunks away, I was able to get closer to the paws and eventually get underneath the paws so that they would be nice and flat. And all I'm gonna do now is just put a little tiny daub of super glue on each foot and put it down on the base. I'm being very careful because I don't want a big glob of super glue. It's going to then frost on the base. So just be careful with it. Don't go overboard. And again, you don't have to do this. You can keep the base that the miniature's on and just paint it up real quick. But as I said, I want them to be versatile, and I kind of hate to have a snowy base and then put it on something with green grass. So in this instance, I'm using the clear bases. And with that, our little demon puppies are all finished. So now when we draw this encounter card, instead of using the cardboard chip to represent this really cool monster encounter, we instead can toss it to the side and use the awesome miniature that we just painted up. And I think this looks so much better. It just adds so much more flavor to the game. It's really cool, and I'm super happy with it. So I just want to say thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I really hope that this has helped to inspire you to try something similar for yourself. That's all I got for today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.